Good morning. It's coffee and boxing this morning. So last night before dinner, I had about an hour and a half or so before dinner. I went ahead and made a lightweight boxer, and I fought his 5-year career. He lost by knockout in his second fight of his 5th year, and that's when I released him from contract and sent him to the lightweight pool. So Mark McClellan finished his career with me at 16-7, 50% fighter 5 years in. He's not going to win a title, so I'd let him go. And in the doing so of playing this version of Boxing Time, I've amassed, in his 5 years, all of his box scores are here. And in doing so, I said, well, that gives me the rules for how I want to advance his career in the future. So again, using the Time Sports book, I went back to the notes page. Again, I put these in the book so you can make notes, and I decided that there should be some kind of formula for his career. So after 3 years, you roll to see how he changes. After 6 years, you roll again. After 9 years, you roll again. And then every year thereafter, you roll for him to make changes. So that would be how you would change your boxer. Again, there's an off-season chart that you can put every team, every driver, and every boxer through. The problem is I didn't define what is a normal amount of time before a phase change. So I thought in doing that, I came up with the 48 rounds a year. So you get 48 rounds a year. A knockout against you or a TKO against you takes 12 of those. Anyway, and you can conceivably get 48 rounds in a year. Anyway, and if a boxer is KO'd, they lose 12 rounds in that year. So that's basically what I came up with. So that boxer was my kind of finding out, if you do it yearly, boxers could change too much, and then you've got a potential guy who might change for the negative too quickly. So I thought, I did it pretty quick. I took a long early portion of his career, and then I was fighting kind of normal fights every couple of months, and then I got where I was fighting less, and I was changing too quick. And I said, I think maybe I should break this into like 48 rounds. So your first 3 years would be 150 rounds before your boxer would change. And so very cool. Anyway, don't have to. There's no rules for it. You can do it any way you want. But so again, this is why I invented this. This is the Time Sports Complete. All 7 games. Every game is contained on one page, and more importantly, all of the game tables for creation and off-season and matchup are universal for all 7 games. This is the again, I'm not selling the saddle stitch version anymore, but I like the saddle stitch because you can lay it flat. And I tell you what, in an hour and a half, I had unbelievable fights. So this morning, I made a heavyweight. Bill Whitaker started out at BBA. He's still in his first year. He's a BBA, so he has chance to be a champion with BBA. Unfortunately, he's 3-2. So I decided, in looking back on my pool of lightweights that are fictional, plus my pool of real fighters, my fighter, McClellan, the lightweight, lost to a guy named Tony Milas, who is 11-1, and that makes him 23rd in the world lightweights. So he is going to face for the first time. So I got a fight card here set up for this morning's coffee. It's going to be a lightweight Tony Milas, who is 11-1, versus number 22 ranked 29-5 Ray Boom Boom Mancini. That's going to be interesting for this Tony Milas guy, who is not my fighter, but he is a fictional fighter. All of these records have been accrued through me testing careers when I was making the game, or they were playtest boxers. So all of those fictional fighters' records were from playtesting for all lightweights. So then of course, that allowed me with all that data to make my grades. Anyway, so that'll be the top billing. That's a 12-round ranked fight, as Tony Milas at number 23 is taking on number 22 Ray Mancini. Also on this fight card is my heavyweight, Bill Whitaker, who's fictional, of course. He's an AA coming in to face a fictional heavyweight, Serratori Vincetti, who is 21-17, also of my playtest fighters, heavyweights. And then we have 2 real middleweights on the fight card. We have 97-16 Carl Olson facing 45-5 Chris Eubank. That is an 8-round bout. So we're going to start with a 4-round heavy. We're going to move on to the unranked 8-round between the two old greats. I say old greats, two experienced greats that are fighting for no ranking. And then, of course, we're going to fight fictional Tony Milas, not my lightweight, but just a lightweight that impressed me, having beaten my lightweight twice, and then Ray Mancini. So we're going to start with my heavyweight. And we have an AA. My heavyweight in 4 rounds should find a way to win this, but let's see. Okay, 3 on A. So in the first round, my heavyweight scores 12 points, and 4 on F, he scores 7. So we're going to win that round 10-9. Right? So this is the red corner, the blue corner, and this is for a KD die check for either boxer. And red always goes first. Uh-oh. Damn, we could be KO'd here. No, I don't think so. But 3, we scored 12. Red goes first, so if we had 2 KDs, we'd have a chance to knock him out first. And he scores 6, which is a KD over here. And 3 on KD, his knockout is F. So 3 is not going to knock me. We are up on a 7 count, and the ref takes our hands. We nod at the 8, standing 8, and we're good to go. We keep fighting, but he's going to win that round 10-8, folks, with a KD. So we get knocked down. My heavyweight gets dropped. Oh, and we got an A heavy punch. We're going to win this with a KO. 2 on it. TKO. We're going to win TKO. Win by TKO. He's going to lose by TKO. But he did manage to score 4 points before the ref stopped the fight. All right, and that's going to make us 4-2 with 2 KOs for my heavy. And that's going to make Serratore Vincetti 21-18 in his career. All right, that was the first fight, my heavyweight. Now, let's see here. My heavyweight's last fight, he won by KO here. So actually, you have 2 KOs. So Whitaker's doing okay. He's 4-2. Again, I've created a really good heavyweight, but he somehow has managed to lose 2 early in his career. Unfortunate, but true. So, all right, here we go. Chris Eubank and Carl Olson going at it. And Carl Olson's going to get a knockdown chance right out of the gate. 4. He is a D. D on 4 is 9. Counted 9. Eubank gets up. Eubank managed to score, though, folks. 5. He managed to score 14 points, but he's going to lose the round thanks to knockdown. 10-8, but he gets up on a 9 count. So Eubank almost finished in the first round. Wow, Olson is fighting hard. 14 points for Olson. And 5 points, so 2 rounds to none, as Carl Olson has jumped out in this 8-round bout against Eubank. Middleweight fight. Oh, we're going to get a knockdown, and it is going to be a knockout. We know that from a knockdown is automatically 6, and 6 is a KO for any kind of puncher. He's going to win this by KO. Eubank. Win by KO, lose by KO, and 2, he managed to score 5 points. And that's going to make Olson 97-17, Eubank now 46-5. And that is our fight card so far. All right, now the main fight. This is a ranked fight between Tony Milas and Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Milas at 11-1, ranked 23rd lightweight in the world. Boom Boom is number 22 in the world. Boom Boom is not called Boom Boom for no reason. He has an A knockout punch. And Mancini, famous for his fight in which a boxer unfortunately died after a fight with Mancini. I think Mancini either retired after that fight or retired shortly after that fight. I can't remember, but what a thing to live with, right? Of course, it's boxing. If you step in the ring, you know there's a chance you can get hurt, other people can get hurt, but still, that's not his goal. All right, Tony Milas, 11-1 in my all of my playtesting, and he was not one of my career fighters. He was one of my playtest fighters, but he's 11-1. Here we go. Oh, 1. Milas on the C chart is going to score 2 points. Mancini on the C chart is going to score 5. So Mancini wins the first round, folks, 10-9. Oh, what he doesn't want is to see that 6. You don't want to see that 6 because Mancini's going to drop him 3. So they're going to tie this round. 8 points each. So they both land 8 punches. And yes, I do count that as a 10-10 round. The judge can't decide. Ooh, 4 and 4. We're going to have another tie. Wow, what a fight. 11 and 11. They're going at it. 10-10. So right now, Mancini's winning this by 1 point. 1-1. Oh my God. And then they slow down, have a defensive round here, trying to protect each other. 10-10. We're in round 5. What a hell of a fight. Oh, and there it is. Mancini wasted him. KD. He's going to win by KO and lose. So Milas, not ready for the prime time, loses his first ranked fight, lose by KO. And he managed to score only 2 points before Mancini dropped him. Milas now goes to 11 and 2, and Mancini goes to 30 and 5 on his career. And that's my first fight with Mancini. And there's my first fight card. This is Boxing Time Complete. So this version, it would be considered the complete book version. That does not allude to the level of detail. My Boxing Time game, my normal Boxing Time game, is far more detailed. Every boxer has 8 ratings. This is the complete series, but it doesn't allude to the depth. This is how simple it is, but you can see what we can do. Unbelievable. And Mancini is now 30 and 5. I'll have to make a note of that on another sheet with my middleweights. Bill Whitaker, let's go back to my my rankings. So here's here's all my real-time greats that are written, that are typed up over there, printed out. They're ranked in the world, and they're ranked by their total rating value. So Chavez is a 12 ranked fighter. He's number 1 in the world. And then we got Garcia, Arguello, and Ruelas are 2, 3, and 4. We got Mayweather at 5. We got Ramirez at 6. Pacquiao is 7th. Duran is 8th. De La Hoya is 9th. And again, this is based totally on their rank, their actual total of their ratings, and of course their actual real life records, right? And we get all the way down here to the unranked. So Mosley is number 20. Lopez is number 21. Mancini is number 22, and he just beat a fictional 23. And then we've got Bramble and Paul and Pendleton, etc., unranked for my lightweights. I have more lightweights rated than I do heavies or middles. Anyway, long story short, going over my my career yesterday evening with McClellan. Again, he fought all 4-round bouts early in his career. Then he moved up to 8-round bouts, and finally he started fighting the big boys, and he got into 10-round bouts. But he lost to Pendleton. Let's see here. He lost to Bramble, which was a killer. TKO Bramble. Livingston Bramble TKO'd him. Then he fought Pendleton and lost again. He had 4 straight losses. Milas beat him, and that seemed to unwind him, because at that point he had won 8 in a row fights, and then Milas at 10-1 defeated him. And that seemed to break him, because he lost then 4 in a row before he finally got a decision win against Bramble. So he avenged his loss by getting a 10-round decision against Bramble. And then, of course, we have to make changes to his ratings for that year. Again, this is before I had decided how to do changes. And he actually improved to BBD. Then he won. He KO'd Pendleton, who he had lost to by KO. So he avenged his fight against Bramble. Then in year 5, avenged his fight with a KO victory over Pendleton. And then Milas at 10-1, again, Milas defeats him in a KO. And at 16-7, I said, this guy, he's never going to get a shot unless he were to somehow win 50 straight fights before. But a 16-7 fighter, there's no way. And he had 8 KOs, by the way. So he was a knock. When he won, he was winning by 50% of his fights were won by KO, right? And then he was losing, though, technically about 45% of his fights. And at that point, I let him go. So he becomes part of the pool over here, and his ratings are locked now at BBD. So McClellan could still beat many of my lightweight fighters and find himself in these fight nights, etc. But no longer as my boxer right there. So that's that, but that's kind of what went down. And you can see how much I was able to get done in an hour and a half. I made the fighter, and then I fought all these fights. Unbelievable. So much fun. And of course I'm keeping, my fictionals and their records tallied. And then I'll update this. I'll have to scribble out a new one. And then of course I've got the value of the boxers' ratings to rate them for my lightweight grades. And my middleweight grades, I've got this also in a notebook for my mates and middleweights. But I wanted to play lightweights last night. And then I started my middleweight. He has, let's see, what did he do? His first fight was against an actual great, and of course he lost that by points. And then he fought Grabchek, which also is one of the heavyweight greats, and got dropped. And then he, that's Grabchek and Jones. Wasn't my fighter. And then Grabchek and Robinson fought. So I was using this Grabchek guy and fighting him after he beat Jones, after he beat my fighter. And where's Whitaker's other fights? Oh, here we go. Whitaker lost to Jones at a KO. Then he KO'd Olsen. And then he beat Williams by points. And there's his 3 fights. But then he went on to lose to, let's see here. He went on to lose. Where did he lose again? Oh, he lost to Jones by points. And then he lost to Grabchek, I believe. So he's 3-2, now 4-2. So I'm going to have to organize that. I can't quite tell what the hell's going on. But this was early this morning with my first cup of coffee. So a little sloppy this morning. And there you go, folks. That is Time Sports Complete. And it's designed so you can take this in your backpack, take it camping, play it in your breakfast nook at home. All you need is some paper, D6, and a pencil. And of course, there are teams rated. And there's also, in the final version, this was the proof copy, saddle stitch with glossy. I decided to go back to the mat, etc. And in the completed version, there's a random table for creating opponents, race car teams, football, boxing, whatever, opponents on the fly. So you can create opponents and give them a name and things, instantly. So anyway, there you have it, folks. That is the proof copy book of Time Sports Complete. This book is not for sale. This book is for sale, but not this particular copy. All right, thank you for watching. Good day.